of the way if you try to hurt New York.
Unless he weaponizes the justice system to go after the attorney general of this state, in which case you'll issue a statement that doesn't even name the president. And no matter what you think about Donald Trump, you know that not even being able to name him is an act of cowardice.
Now, of course, Mamdani is referencing that indictment of New York Attorney General Tish James last week, and the statement from Cuomo initially that didn't mention her or Trump. Her office, of course, led the investigation into the sexual harassment allegations, which Cuomo has denied and called political, but did ultimately lead to his resignation when he was governor in 2021.
Bridget, do you think voters learned anything new from the candidates last night?
Well, we were talking a lot about this last night. We did learn, if you haven't seen Curtis Sliwa on the campaign trail, you might have seen him for the first time without his signature red beret. He took his hat off to sort of project a seriousness that he is taking to this race. Cuomo was asked directly what he learned from losing the Democratic primary, which really was an opportunity to offer some reflection. And he basically said he should have been on social media more, but that his agenda remains the same. He wants to bring his decades of experience to the job, supports mayoral control of schools, expanding specialized high schools, and adding 5,000 police officers. I should note that platform alone obviously didn't win him the primary. And Mamdani really remained focused on his affordability agenda, but his weakest moment was when he was pressed on how he would pay for it. He continues to say he wants to raise personal income taxes on the top 1% and increase the corporate tax, but you can't do that as mayor. And Governor Hochul, who's running for re-election next year, has signaled she doesn't favor that approach. So those funding battles are really serious.
Much more to talk about this debate, but we have to end it there for time reasons. WNYC's Bridget Bergen recapping last night's mayoral debate. Thanks, Bridget.
Thank you.
WNYC is supported by the New York Phil. Diego Matius conducts music by Inocente Carreño, and concertmaster Frank Huang performs Korngold's Violin Concerto. October 23rd through 25th at David Geffen Hall. Tickets at nyphil.org.
Netflix, presenting A House of Dynamite, from Catherine Bigelow, director of The Hurt Locker and Zero Dark 30, starring Idris Elba and Rebecca Ferguson. Now playing in select theaters on Netflix October 24th.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort, offering a small ship experience with a shore excursion included in every port and onboard cultural enrichment. Discover more at Viking.com. And by Schwab. Schwab offers investors choices like full-service wealth management, self-directed investing options, and trading on Thinkorswim. More at Schwab.com.
From Marketplace, I'm Sabri Benishore, in for David Brancaccio. Global markets had a little bit of anxiety this morning over the health of regional banks in the U.S. Shares were down from here to Japan. Salt Lake City-based Zions Bank and Phoenix-based Western Alliance said some of their loans had gone bad due to fraud. These were loans to investors who put money into distressed commercial mortgages. Adding to the anxiety, J.P. Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon warned about cockroaches in the economy, referring to bad debt. So with that, let's start with the numbers. Dow futures are up 0.2%. S&P futures are down 0.1%. NASDAQ futures down 0.2%. Gold hit yet another record high. It popped above $4,350 an ounce this morning. Signs investors are looking for safety. The 10-year Treasury yield is just under 4%. Speaking of which, the 10-year yield has a strong influence on mortgage rates, and those rates fell again this week to an average of 6.27%, according to Freddie Mac. Will that get more people to buy and sell homes? We'll see, but spending on home improvement is expected to grow in the next year. That is according to new research out from Harvard's Joint Center on Housing Studies. Marketplace's Savannah Peters has more.
Jamie Katz recently bought a townhouse outside of Chicago.
I need to paint for sure. The entire place is gray, like every wall.
Katz, who follows home improvement retailers for Morningstar, says this is the kind of stuff people spend money on after they buy a house.
Everybody puts their own personal touch on their space when they move into it.
To better suit their tastes, or because it turns out the place needs a new roof. That's why momentum in the housing market portends more spending on home renovation, says Rachel Drew with Harvard's Joint Center for Housing Studies.
We think that's going to help unlock some of the pent-up demand from buyers and get a few of them off the sidelines.
The center publishes its leading indicator of remodeling activity once a quarter.
because really the remodeling market covers everything that is done to existing housing, which is 99% of our housing stock.
In 2026, Drew says the rising cost of building materials will keep a lid on growing demand for home improvements. Another thing driving that demand, the ultra-low mortgage rates some buyers locked in during the pandemic. Jamie Katz with Morningstar says when those homeowners want or need something different out of their space, the math sounds something like this.
A $50,000 addition is going to be so much less
Then starting over in this tougher housing market. I'm Savannah Peters for Marketplace.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Mercury. Mercury offers banking and financial software to help businesses do more in one place. Learn more at mercury.com. And by Yubico, makers of the YubiKey. YubiKey helps protect important digital applications and services. YubiKey, still undefeated, the original passkey. More at yubico.com.